Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tech with Meg here. Today I am going to show you how to replace a screen and a battery on a 6S Plus. So what I have here, this is my 6S Plus. Here's my screen that I ordered from Amazon. I can go ahead and link this for you. I don't have that outer packaging, but I'll link one for you. I order a bunch of different screens on Amazon. I mainly just go on the delivery date and if it has a good amount of 4-star or higher reviews. Here's the battery. I also ordered it on Amazon. And again, I just go with a good amount of reviews and the fastest shipping time. And then this is my repair kit. You don't normally need one of these. The screen normally comes with tools for you to use, and so does the battery. I just prefer my own tools. I like the screwdriver better, and then I have a bunch of different attachments that I can use if I need to. So I got this from Walmart. I can go ahead and link this as well, just because I know sometimes it's frustrating in review videos if they don't link what they're using and you have no idea how to find it. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel and you like seeing review videos of MacBooks and iPhones and some Samsungs, go ahead and subscribe. If you like this video, if you can just share it, that would be awesome. So we are just gonna jump right into this. So here's my my 6S Plus. You can tell it's the 6S because it has the S on the back. A regular 6 wouldn't have that. It would just look like this. And then the 7s the pluses have 2 cameras. So this is the 6S Plus. If you need to find it, the model number will be right there, and that will also help you make sure you have the right screen. So this one's black. I ordered a black screen. I always order the full attachment ones that come, or full assembly. It comes with the speaker and the camera already attached. There are some that you can order where it's just the screen and you would have to pull the camera and the speaker from your other phone. So it just saves me time, and it's like $10 more to order it with the full assembly, so I normally do that. This home button is not the original home button. With iPhones, you have to swap over for the Touch ID. You have to swap the original home button with the one that they send you. If the original home button, the Touch ID, doesn't work anyways, you can go ahead and just leave this home button in here. But the Touch ID will not work if you don't use the original home button. And then the battery, let's get the battery out really quick. So here are your tools that it comes with. It comes with some tweezers, this suction thing to help get the screen off, some pry tools to help get the screen off, and this screwdriver. I really like this screwdriver, it's a good one. And then it comes with the tape to tape it back on. Oh, nice, it comes with some screws too. That's nice, because sometimes phones have already been worked on and they won't have the screws that you need in there. It comes with the adhesive to stick it to the case, and then comes with a card, and then this is the battery. Obviously, batteries can be dangerous, so just be careful with it. Now that we have all the pieces we need, I'm going to show you how to take this screen off. This one already has the screws out of it, but you would use the screwdriver that comes with it. This one, this little one right here. You'll see it has a, I don't know if this will show it or not, but we can try. It's got a little tiny head with points, so it's like So you would just unscrew the screws here. You have 1, 2 screws, and those are all the screws you need to remove. Then I take the suction cup. This is harder if the screen is really cracked. Sometimes you just have to pry the screen up at that point if you are replacing the screen. If you're not replacing the screen, say you're only replacing the battery or a camera, you want to be really careful so you don't damage the screen. And as you can see on this screen, the only cables on the 6S Plus are up at the top. So on some of the other models, they have them on the sides and stuff. So you only have to be really careful just to not pull the screen up at the top so that you don't break those cables. So I stick that on there, and then I grab one of these little pry tools, and I just pry this screen up. This one's pretty easy because I've already taken the screen off. Sometimes it takes a lot of effort, but you just want to make sure you go all the way around the outside, especially if the adhesive has never been broken. It's quite a workout to get some of these screens off. So once I've done that, then I lift it up slowly because these are still attached. And this is where the battery would be. I've already taken the battery out of this one. So you would need to use the screwdriver, the Phillips screwdriver that came with it, remove these 2 screws and unplug the battery before you do anything else. The nice thing also about this kit is it has like a magnetized thing. So I just go like that, and then it makes it so that screws stick to my screwdriver. Okay, so we got that. This little tool is like a pry tool that you can use to lift stuff up. So here's the little plate for the battery. Then this is where you would unplug the battery from. Let me zoom in. Right here is where you would unplug the battery from. So next, there should normally be a plate up here as well. I'm gonna have to find it, or find another one. There should also be a plate up here. It'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. So you remove those screws, and then we're just gonna unplug the screen. So if you just use this little pry tool, you just get up underneath and just kind of twist it. So you have these 3 connections, 1, 2, 3. So now the screen has been removed, and this is what the phone will look like. So now I am going to switch the home buttons first. So you want to make sure that you remember which one's your original screen. So this one's the original. I'm just going to leave this on it so that I remember. And then this is my replacement screen. This one does have plastic on it, so that's another way to remember as well. You just don't want to get them mixed up because you want to remember which one is your original home button, and they all look the same. So it's really hard to tell which one is the home button. I've gotten many home buttons mixed up. So I'm just speaking from experience here. But we are going to go ahead and remove the home button. So this can be kind of a tricky process because the home buttons are pretty fragile and they're glued down. So we just want to be as careful as we can. So we have 1, 2 screws on the 6S Plus. We pull this plate off, and then let me show you up close. Right here is the home button. This is where it's connected to the screen, and this little thing right here is a part that's glued down, but it's the chips. So you want to make sure that you do not bend that or damage it in any way, because then it'll make it so the Touch ID won't work. And on the newer phones where it's not an actual home button that pushes, the home button won't work at all. So we're just going to be really careful. First, we're going to unplug this. We're going to go ahead, and how I do this is I hold my finger on the top of this and I wedge this tool down in between, and I just kind of try to separate them. Again, you want to be careful. You don't want them to move too much, or you could really damage the home button. So I just kind of work my way around it until I've been able to open it up. So it flips this way, and this part right here that's attached to the screen goes this way. So now the harder part is to remove the adhesive. So I use this little knife, this little X-Acto knife. I've used several different things. You cannot just pull it up. If you pull it up, you're for sure going to break the Touch ID. So I've just found this to be the most useful. I just stick it right in here, and I push down like this, so I'm not cutting into it at all. I push down, so I'm cutting more into the screen than anything else. And I just pop it up. Some, again, just like the screen adhesive, some are much easier than others. It depends on if the phone's been worked on before or not. And then you just pop it out this way, and there's your home button. So now we are going to remove this home button from the new screen. So I'm going to put this up here so I don't lose it. This one doesn't have the plate on it, so we just have to remove this. Again, I put my finger on here, I slide my thing under there, and I get that. This one's not glued down, so this one is much easier. And then you just have to pull back this plastic and push the home button out. Okay, make sure you put this one kind of far away so you don't get them mixed up at all, especially if you're doing something else in between putting these back together. So now I'm just gonna fit the home button right back in there like that. I'm gonna make sure that this is above the cable that connects it to the screen is above it. I'm gonna push that down. There's this little hole, this little circle that you can line it up with. And I'm just gonna push it in, connect the two. You want to be careful when you're doing that if it doesn't seem to connect very well. I've broken several home buttons that way as well. So you just want to be gentle with the whole home button process. So there's that. We're going to set that aside. Oh, first we got to put going to put this back on. So the black, if you ever see black on these, that always goes down. So that's an easy way to remember which direction it goes. And then we're going to grab those two screws. Also make sure that you're working in a place where you can keep the screws kind of in order. I work over carpet, and I really should not work over carpet because I've lost so many screws in the carpet down below me. So if you don't have any extra screws, I would suggest making sure you're not somewhere that you are going to, if you dropped the screws, that it would be really bad. So there we go, 2 screws. So I'm going to set the screen aside for a second, and we're going to do the battery. So what I like to do with the battery is I like to take it and I like to plug it in first, just to make sure that I get the cable where I want it before I attach the before I put the adhesive on. So sometimes you have to bend them a little bit. I like to bend it down so that it's easier to pry up this direction. So you would just pull it up like that when you're working on it. Okay. Make sure it's connected. Okay. And then once I've gotten that taken care of, I put the adhesive on the back. You should have a Taptic engine right here. I had to borrow this one for a different machine, so I'm gonna have to see if I have one. The Taptic engine just does all of the vibrating, so it's not crucial. It's just a little annoying if you don't have it or if it's broken. Pull this blue off first, just like that. Then lay it down. You want to make sure that these flaps come off the edge because they're going to wrap around the front. So make sure to put this on the back. I mean, it doesn't obviously have to be perfect. It's just going on the back. Press it down. And then I pull this off, the front one, and I just wrap it up like this. I just use this pink sheet and I wrap it up. And these are your pulls for when you have to take the battery out. So then I pull that off, and then I'm going to, again, this is my preference. I like to plug it in first, so I make sure that it's right where I want it to be before pressing it down, because you don't want to have to pull it back up again. Then I just push it down really good. Make sure it connects nicely. Okay, then we're gonna unplug it because you don't want the battery plugged in when you plug the screen back in, just like you don't want the battery plugged in when you are taking the screen off, because sometimes it can kill the LCD and then you're gonna have to get a new screen anyways. So for this one, we are going to, let me just go over this really quick again. So again, this is the one that comes with the full assembly. If you just ordered the screen, you're gonna have to pull the camera and the speaker from your old screen, and you're gonna have to install it on the new screen. I just ordered the one with the full assembly. It saves me time. It's, a less margin of error. So, especially if you're doing this repair and you haven't done repairs, this is definitely, I think, the way to go would be to get the full assembly. So now I just line these up and I push them down. Make sure you get them all the way. Sometimes you only get like one side and not the whole thing. So then I just go back in with this tool after I get them pushed in. Just really make sure that I've gotten them all the way in. Then we are going to go ahead and plug the battery in, and we are just going to test the phone before we screw it all up, because we want to make sure that everything will work. So plug the battery in. This one, I had to plug the battery in and leave it for a while. Sometimes, normally when I get the batteries, they're always charged, but if it seems to not work, go ahead and try and plug it in.